Welcome Exile, Cassius Play here, and this time I bring you a Spectral throw character based around the champion Ascendancy. It's similar to the old Spectral throw build, but with the addition of a god mode button whenever you activate Adrenaline. I use a full set of unique items, including Hand of Wisom and Action Claw, so it's a stat based build with a lot of focus on intelligence. It's a strong single target build with okay clear speed, and the upgraded champion Ascendancy just makes it that much more fun to play. And the items used for this build are Hand of Wisom in Action. This is the item that the entire build is built around, as it gives 1 to 10 lightning damage for every 10 intelligence. So you stack a lot of intelligence on both your gear as well as your skill tree. And for gloves I use Shaper's Touch gloves because of the evasion and energy shield. For a more offensive option you can use Thunder Fist. For belt I use a Cyclopean Coil belt for the increased attributes. Optionally you can use a Darkness and Throne belt if you have two very good Abyss jewels. For boots I use Syntrix Stealth boots because of the evasion and energy shield. The enchantment you want on there is added lightning damage. And the shield that I use for this build is Atzir's Mirror. I use this shield because of the evasion, intelligence and all rest, but really you want to complete the Queen's Sacrifice prophecy to upgrade this shield to an Atzir's Reflection. Atzir's Reflection gives additional immune to curses, as well as adding about 1400 more energy shields to your build. For helmet I use Vertex Valmask because of the evasion and energy shield. The enchantment you want on there is Deceleration for Spectral throw. For chest I use Chevron's Wrapping so chaos damage doesn't bypass my energy shield, as well as adding additional lightning resistance. For amulet I use an Astra Mentis because of added attributes. And for rings I use 2 Perendus Signet rings. I use these rings because of the 2% increased intelligence for each equipped unique item. I have 10 unique items equipped, so I get 20% increased intelligence from each ring. For flasks I use a Wise Oak. I use an Atzir's Promise, a Vessel of Vinctar that damage penetrates 10% lightning resistance. I use a Silver Flask and a Jade Flask. And the gems that I use for this build are Spectral Throw, and with Spectral Throw I have damage on full life, lightning penetration, elemental focus, elemental damage with attacks, and greater multiple projectiles. For tougher single target bosses I switch out greater multiple projectiles for slower projectiles. In my helm that gives +1 to Sacred Gems I have Discipline and Wrath, and then I have Purity of Elements and Blood Magic. Purity of Element and Blood Magic are not connected to Wrath and Discipline. In my movement setup I have Whirling Blades, faster attacks, and Fortify. And in my offhand I use Ancestral Protector, Summon Lightning Golem, and Blood Rage. The reason I like to use Blood Rage in my offhand is so that I can press X and turn it off whenever necessary. For defensive setups I use Cast when Damage Taken, level 1, Immortal Call, level 3, Increased Duration, and Enfeeble, level 5. And my second defensive setup is Cast when Damage Taken, level 1, Vortex, level 4, Blade Vortex, level 8, and Blind Support. These are the skills that I picked out from a level 89 Energy Shield champion. And since I started leveling as a life-based character, then I've included some progression trees in the description. Early on I went with Point Blank. Since I'm a Spectral throw character I get additional bonus from this already from the beginning. And then I rushed towards Elemental Overload since that's a huge bonus to my overall damage. Further then I got lightning damage, I got some more life and more elemental damage. I didn't get Ghost Reaver until I got Vaal Pact around level 70. Then I got more energy shield in here, got more energy shield, more lightning damage, and finally I went with more intelligence, more energy shield, and more elemental damage. And for jewels I use a pure Talon jewel that gives me bonuses for connecting to a class's starting location. That's why I connect to the Templar over here and the Scion over here. And the Scion gives me 25 to all attributes, and the Templar gives me damage penetration. And since the Duelist is my starting location, I get 1% attack damage leeches life from the Duelist. And then I use 2 Further Mind Jewels to turn the dexterity nodes in the radius to intelligence for the extra damage and energy shield. For rare jewels I use ones with lightning damage, energy shield as well as fire and cold rest to maximize my resistances. For Ascendancy I went with Conquer for the chance to taunt on hit as well as the damage reduction, and then I got Worthy Foes, so you always hit taunted enemies as well as 20% increased damage. Then I went with First to Strike, Last to Fall, so you permanently intimidate enemies that are full life, which is a 10% increased attack damage. And then you get Adrenaline forever you reach low life. This is why I have Blood Magic connected with Purity of Element, so I can trigger Adrenaline every 20 seconds. Adrenaline grants 100% increased damage, 25% increased attack and movement speed, as well as 10% additional physical damage reduction. And then lastly I went with Unstoppable Hero. Unstoppable Hero gets attack speed, melee damage, evasion, and cannot be stunned while you have Fortify activated. This is why I have Fortify connected with Whirling Blade, so I can Whirling Blade an enemy every 4 to 5 seconds to always trigger this. For Pantheon I use Soul of Lunaris as Major Guard. Since I'm an evasion based build, Soul of Lunaris fits perfectly since it adds additional chance to avoid projectiles as well as dodge attacks and spells. You can use either one of these you want. The only one I wouldn't use is Soul of the Brine King, since whenever you have Fortify activated you're immune to stuns already. For Minor Guard I use Soul of Gruthkul for the physical damage reduction, but the main reason I use this is because of after you've captured Erebix, enemies that hit you have reduced attack speed. For Bandits either help Kratin or kill them all. For leveling I always recommend using a Tabula Rasa. You can start using Spectral Throw already from level 1 and connect it with Volley at level 4 or lesser multiple projectiles at level 8. At level 8 you can also connect it with added cold damage and lightning damage. At level 28 you can start using Hand of Motion and Thought and use those until level 68 when you can switch over to Hand of Wisdom in action. I would recommend dual wielding Hand of Motion and Thought, as that will be a huge boost to your overall damage. You can switch over from health to energy shield around level 70, which is also when you pick out Vault Pact and Ghost Reaver. Other leveling gear can be Loctonia Caress Gloves, Darkness and Throne Belt, and the Wanderlust Boots. The main pros to this build are the strong Ascendancy and the high single target damage. The champion Ascendancy gives you 100% chance to hit against taunted enemies as well as increased attack speed and movement speed. You have good mobility and survivability with high evasion and energy shield. The main cons for this build is that you cannot run elemental reflect mods. It's not the fastest map clearer and you need to be switching gems before the tougher bosses.